Hey all, here at OS Reviews, you're watching our hands-on review of the Molong RGB backlit mechanical keyboard. It's a aluminum layout with 104 keys that includes a full-size numpad on the right as well. So this is a company that hasn't been quite as popular as Mechanical Eagle, at least here in the United States, but they do produce many other gaming accessories and peripherals in Asia as well as in China. So this is what it looks like. It sells for about $50 on Amazon, which is a fair price, again very competitive with the Element Z77, which we also reviewed a few months ago, and for that you are getting a pretty similar design as well. But Molong also has completely customizable keys, so you can change the RGB backlight for each individual key to customize the color completely instead of just going with preset animations, which is actually pretty cool. It also works with any computer, both Mac, Windows, as well as Linux. Just simply plug and play. Instruction manual seems to be printed in Chinese. And we also have a few extra key switches as part of the packaging, including a keycap remover that allows us to remove the keys if I want to change it for a different style down the road. And this is what the blue switches look like. And that's it for the box. Setting this off to the side and taking a look just at the keyboard now. As aforementioned, this is a aluminum mechanical keyboard, and that means that the base is made out of a metal and it has a fairly good construction with these rounded edges as well as these chamfered edges that are actually quite shiny. It's made completely in this dark color as well, as opposed to the lighter aluminum that Mechanical Eagle likes to use. So this seems to be a little more sleek and discreet as far as the design is concerned. The cable of this particular version is not detachable, however, so it's integrated onto the side. And flipping it over, we have just the Molong logo. Here is the dedicated numpad, as aforementioned, and then this is just the keyboard itself, which has these slightly rounded, slightly ergonomic keys, but still very conventional as far as the design and look is concerned. There's a slight dip towards the center of the keyboard, but it's not quite as drastic as truly ergonomic keyboards that we saw in the past. On the back, there's also rubber feet that prevents it from sliding around on a surface or a desk, in addition to legs that allows you to pop it up an elevated angle for typing. The full-size USB 2.0 plug is also gold-plated. We've plugged it in, and you can see the default lighting is actually red as opposed to an RGB style, so it does have a pretty dramatic look. So if we turn off the lights completely, you can see this is what it looks like in a darkened environment. It actually works pretty well. So let's try playing around with some of the other animations and colors. So tapping on function plus insert will change this now into one where after tapping on individual keys, they change to a different color completely, so into green, and when you tap on it again, it changes into blue, once more into yellow, as you can see, and goes through the gauntlet of different colors. So this is actually a pretty interesting mode. It's a unique one that I haven't seen before on other keyboards, so it seems like Molong are using kind of their own development and microcontroller to make this program happen, which is pretty cool. Tapping on function plus insert again, we are in the more usual mode where you can tap on keys and they stay on for a split second before disappearing. On this one, it actually seems to stay on for a little bit longer as well, so it actually has a slightly slower transition, which I am a fan of. And if I tap on something else now, function plus insert takes us to just a green lighting mode. Function plus insert again, it will turn on individual keys and slightly move around with a randomized animation, which is also very interesting. Some of these modes would probably be better as a kind of a background lighting or a conversation starter. They're not quite as practical as having all of the lights completely on if you're typing and working in the dark, but as a background light, sure, why not? Function plus insert again changes it into this slowly glowing and fading light. And tapping on it once more turns it into this colorful one that is also breathing, although the colors themselves will not be changing. Function plus insert again, we go into the slightly sliding mode where you can see everything is moving towards the right. Function plus insert again, same thing, but now this is single color, also sliding to the right. Function plus insert again, and now this is a snake where it's just sliding back and forth between all of the individual keys before going up once more. Function plus insert once again, and we are now in the reactive mode where you can tap once to have a ripple effect go through the entire keyboard. Also a pretty cool effect for demonstration purposes. Function again, and we have the same thing, but the ripple now goes back as well, so it's a reflective mode, which is definitely new. Haven't seen that on other keyboards before, and this one is another one, but it goes through the entire row before coming back. Function again, and now everything is pink, and after you tap on the individual keys, they actually disappear for a split second, so it's kind of the inverse of the mode where it lights up, so also very interesting and cool to play around with. another one that I haven't seen before. Function again, basically repeating the same patterns, but again with individual colors now. So there's definitely a huge variance with the individual patterns, much more than what E-Element, Mechanical Eagle, and many of its competitors are offering. So good job to Molong for really bringing a lot more variety and customization to the users. And as far as brightness is concerned, right now we are maximum brightness, which means the keys are even visible with the lights with some background lighting in the room. But I can turn it off, and I can play around with function up and down the arrow keys to make it actually dimmer, to being completely off to save on electricity, to being completely on. So here's a demo of the sound that it produces in a quick typing test. And on the very top of the keyboard, we also have an additional row of icons, both acting as function as well as shortcuts for media commands, such as a calculator, search, play, as well as play, pause, skip track, and volume keys, which are pretty functional and useful. I found that it was compatible with both Mac, Windows, as well as Chromebooks in my testing so far, so that was pretty nice. There's also additional LEDs that will turn on if I have additional keys like a caps lock or shift turn on, since tapping on these keys themselves don't activate additional colors, since the entire thing is backlit. Otherwise, if we do a quick comparison before ending this video, I have a aforementioned Mechanical Eagle Z77 here, but in similar fashion, it also uses blue switches, and the overall sensation is pretty much exactly the same. So there's no difference as far as the typing speed and accuracy, as well as sensation, in my opinion. It's just mostly an aesthetic difference, as well as the fact that the Molong has more modes for the RGB backlit, which is actually kind of cool. Also, you can see that the design of the base plate here is black, so it's a bit more discreet versus aluminum, a more lighter shade, which is more common across mechanical keyboards. So that's more or less our hands-on review of the Molong RGB backlit mechanical keyboard. So you can check out more details about the Molong RGB backlit keyboard, an interesting alternative in the budget mechanical landscape, in the links down below. But for now, this has been our video. Thanks for watching here at OS Reviews.